Milk, pure, white, wholesome, the symbol of childhood and the easiest way to destroy it. In the early 20th century, milk was a battlefield. Before modern sanitation laws, milk spoiled fast. It carried bacteria. It carried tuberculosis. It carried death. Dr. Arthur Harrison, Chicago Board of Health, wrote in 1930, "Milk is the most dangerous product delivered to American homes, and the public has no idea what is happening to it." He was right. And soon, someone far worse than contamination would take control of the industry. By 1930, prohibition was dying, revenues shrinking, politicians calling for repeal. Capone's empire, built on illegal booze, was crumbling. Capone needed a new commodity, something families bought daily, something delivered door to door, something no one suspected. And then, Capone discovered the perfect product. His men reported that milk distributors were fighting turf wars, price undercutting, farmers refusing contracts, corruption everywhere. One lieutenant allegedly told Capone, "Boss, the milk racket is worse than whiskey, and nobody's running it." Capone smiled. He would run it. Capone sent enforcers through the rural edges of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. They visited dairies with two messages. 1. Sell your milk only through Capone-approved distributors. 2. Or don't sell milk at all. Farmers later testified, behind closed doors, terrified, that the men didn't always use guns. Sometimes they slashed tires, burned barns, poisoned cows, sabotaged bottling equipment. A single line appears in a 1931 police report from Elgin, Illinois. Unknown men destroyed a dairy separator and threatened the owner. Suspected link to Chicago syndicate. They dared not type the name Capone, but the message spread fast. Within months, Capone controlled enormous chunks of the Chicago milk distribution routes. Not the farms, but the middlemen. The bottle suppliers, the truck lines, the delivery routes, the storefront distributors. If milk touched Chicago turf, Capone touched the profits. In the spring of 1931, Chicago hospitals reported a spike in pediatric tuberculosis and gastrointestinal illness among infants. Doctors noticed a pattern. All affected families bought milk from distributors recently taken over by new business partners. Dr. Helen Rice from Cook County Children's Hospital later stated, "We had babies dying from milk that tasted strange, smelled sour, or was watered down. Mothers reported no other food exposure. It was the milk. One case, nearly buried in archives. An 18-month-old boy from Brighton Park who died after drinking milk containing foreign particulate matter. The lab report listed bacterial contamination exceeding safe limits and tubercular cells. The attending physician wrote, I suspect tampered milk from an unregulated distributor. Mother reports delivery men have changed since last month." A Chicago Board of Health internal memo read, "We believe organized crime is interfering with regional milk distribution. We cannot put this in the press." When the city refused to expose the problem, mothers stepped forward. Their testimony survives in fragments. Minutes from local church meetings, old labor rights files, and a single letter preserved by the Illinois Women's Committee. "Our babies are dying. We demand the city stop the criminal element from controlling our milk. We demand pasteurization for every drop." Capone had influence everywhere. Police, aldermen, city inspectors. The mothers were silenced, but whispers spread. One of the most disturbing witness accounts comes from Walter Creamer, a milk inspector for the city. He inspected one of the dairies Capone controlled. His notes, sparse, shaky handwriting. Milk spoiled. Equipment filthy. Water added. Told not to return by two men in suits. 2 weeks later, Creamer was gone. Never seen again. The official report? Resigned. But his wife told reporters decades later, he said Capone's men warned. He told me, "If I push this, I'll bury him in the stockyards." Then he disappeared. A rarely mentioned incident appears in the stenographic notes of the Chicago Legislative Committee, dated October 1931. The notes read, "Aldermen discuss criminal influence in dairy routing. One member warned, If we move too fast, the city will panic. Let the feds deal with Capone first. They were referring to Capone first. They were referring to Capone's ongoing tax evasion prosecution. City Hall decided to wait. Children would die in the meantime. Not every dairy cooperated. Some refused. And Capone made examples. In March 1931, the Meadowmore Dairy's trucks were bombed twice for refusing to join Capone's syndicate. The Chicago Tribune wrote, 3 milk trucks destroyed in firebombing. Witnesses saw men fleeing in a dark sedan.
A Meadowmore driver testified. Capone's men told us the milk belonged to them. We didn't listen. They came back with dynamite. Why? Because the driver later retracted his testimony saying, I've got a wife and 2 kids. I'm not dying over milk.
A nearly forgotten civil case. Walcott v. Meadowmore Dairies, 1932, became the first legal document to expose the violence tied to milk distribution. The Illinois Supreme Court wrote that Meadowmore faced business disruption caused by criminal interference, intimidation, and violent acts of unknown persons. Everyone knew who those unknown persons were. This case remains one of the only legal records connecting organized crime to Chicago's milk industry. In October 1931, Capone was convicted, not for murder, not for extortion, not for poisoning Chicago's milk supply, but for taxes. When federal agents dragged Capone away, the milk syndicate collapsed. Suddenly, dairies were free. Inspectors returned. Pasteurization became law. Dr. Harrison wrote in 1932, the situation has been resolved. Public safety restored. No need for alarm. No mention of the deaths. No mention of Capone. The truth erased. Intentionally. Why was this story buried? 3 reasons. 1. City officials feared panic. Milk was essential. Revealing contamination could destroy public trust, too. Capone controlled the press. Several papers received direct payments to limit stories hinting at syndicate control of milk. 1. Pasteurization solved the problem. Officials believed the public didn't need to know the true cause, only that milk was now safer. A Board of Health member, quoted years later in private memoirs, admitted, "We decided the public had suffered enough during the Depression. Exposing the milk deaths would have destroyed the city's morale." Today, every bottle of milk you drink is pasteurized because of laws strengthened during and after Capone's reign. Most Americans never learn why those laws came so suddenly, why they came with such force, why pasteurization became non-negotiable. But in the shadows of Chicago's history lies the answer. Capone made milk deadly, and the city covered it up. Al Capone spilled blood across Chicago, but some of the blood he spilled was hidden inside milk bottles delivered to innocent families. His bullets made headlines. His milk made graves. If you found value in this forgotten chapter of American crime, like, share, and subscribe. It keeps history alive, even the parts that were meant to stay buried.